Corporate Finance Excel Practice Problem. In this presentation, we're going to work a practice problem in Excel related to cash management. Get ready, it's time to take your chance with Corporate Finance. Here we are in Excel. We have our information on the left-hand side. We're going to put that into the blue area into our worksheet on the right-hand side. We have two tabs down below. You may have four tabs if you're working along with an Excel worksheet with us. The two tabs being the answer tabs, the other two being the worksheet tabs that we have here. If we go to the second tab, we have a similar layout, but different numbers, so we'll have a similar problem. We'll work this a couple times. We have the information up top, the cash collected per day. We're going to say cash collections per day on average 4,300. The cash disbursements on average per day 3,300. The difference being the average net cash flow. Now, if we have the collection time, if we think about the collection time, if we were able to reduce it in days of 2.5 days, then we can increase our cash flow by basically increasing our ability to get the collection time, to decrease the amount of collection time. So, and we can also think about a situation, what if we can have our disbursements, when we make the cash disbursements, if we can make them take a little bit longer, if we can make the disbursements take a little bit longer, then we'll be holding on to the cash a little bit longer, and that's typically beneficial with regards to the cash flow. So normally when we're thinking about business, notice oftentimes we're focusing, of course, on the sales items. We're trying to increase the sales items, but note that a lot of those sales will be made on account, and therefore they're going to go through the accounts receivable. So we also want to then maximize our ability to manage the receivables as well as the payables that are going to be going out from a cash management type standpoint. From a cash management standpoint, we would like to hold on to the cash as long as possible, basically. We would like to collect the cash as soon as possible. And then as far as the disbursements go, we would like to hold on to the cash as soon as possible. So that's your mindset in the cash management side of things. Therefore, if you're thinking about the receivables, you're trying to say, how can I collect on the receivables quicker? What can I do to get the receivables rolling in quicker so we can get the money faster, because that will improve our cash management situation. And if we get the money faster, we can also do something with that money, like invest it in some way, getting a return on it. On the payment side of things, we're hoping we can hold on to the money longer. So if we can have longer terms in terms of the financing side, then we would be happy to have longer terms. If we can put in a process to make the checks take longer, possibly to clear the bank even, or something like that. If you take a look at a lot of transactions, that can actually have a significant impact on the cash flow. So if we were able to reduce the collection time, what would be the additional collection? So if we were to say this, we're going to say, all right, the reduction in days for the collection time, we're going to say is going to be the 2.6. And then I'm going to make that our include a decimal home tab numbers group, adding a decimal to that. And then we're going to multiply that times the collection. So the collection per day. So the collection per day is going to be equal to the 4,300. Multiplying this out, we're going to say the 2.6 times the 4,300. We have the change of 11,180. 11,180. So that's going to be the 11,180. Let's put an underline here. Home tab, font group, and underline. This is going to be the additional collections. So we'll have the additional collections, the 11,180. Let's look at the delayed disbursements. So if we can delay the disbursements, then we're going to say, all right, here's the number of days that we're delaying, the 1.4. Let's add a decimal, go into the home tab, numbers, adding a decimal there. And then we have the disbursements per day. The disbursements per day being equal to the 3,300. So this is going to be equal to the 3,300. Multiplying that out, we're going to say that we have the 1.4 times the 3,300. Remember here that what we're doing is taking longer in order to make the disbursements. And here we're speeding up the receipts. So on the receipts side of things, we're trying to get the money faster with regards to the cash management. We're not talking about sales here. The sales have happened. We're talking about collection, increase in the collections on the sales. And on the payments, we're talking about taking a little bit longer somehow to make the payments, holding on to that money for a little bit longer. So we're going to go to the home tab, font group, and underline. And this is going to be the delayed disbursements that we have. And so now we've got the freed up cash. So if we have freed cash, now we have cash flow from doing this of the 11,180 minus the 4,600. I'm sorry, we're going to add those two. 11,180, and we freed up another 4,620 here, adding those up. And then we're going to say this is times the rate, which is going to be an interest rate of 7%. So in other words, if we take that 15,800 that we freed up and got a return on it, for example, putting it simply in an investment account perhaps, home tab, numbers group, percentifying it, home tab, font group, underline it, we can get a return on our investment. And so we're going to say return in interest on the investment, or return on the investment, whatever that return would be if it was interest or some other form of return. The 15,800 times the 7%, we're going to get the 1,106 that we can generate on that. So the idea here is that, again, anytime we have the receivables, we want to try to get the money faster. So we're focusing, one, on sales. That's going to be our major focus typically for the business. And then two, management, meaning get the money faster, cash management, get the money faster on the receivables and hang on to the money longer if possible for the payables. Let's do that one more time. So we'll go to the second tab here, and we'll just do the same thing here. So we're going to say, all right, we have similar layout, cash collected per day, 2,700, cash disbursement per day, 1,200, collection time reduced by days of 1.4. So we're going to reduce the collection time, and disbursement time is going to be increased by days of 0.6. So it's going to take longer to disperse. And then we're going to put that funds somewhere and get a return on it for the 9% return. All right, so on the collection side, we're going to say that we have the reduction in days. The reduction in days, which is going to be equal to the 1.4. Then we're going to add a decimal by going to the home tab, the numbers group, adding a decimal. Then we're going to say that this is going to be the collections, which is going to be equal to that 2,700. Let's put an underline there, home tab, font group, and underline. And this is going to be the additional collections that we then have. The additional collections then being equal to the 1.4 times the 2007 for the 3780. And then we have the disbursement side of things. On the disbursement side of things, we've got the delayed number of days is going to be the 0.6. Let's make that a percent. Home tab, I'm not a percent. Let's make it a decimal. Numbers and add some decimals, or one decimal. And then we're going to say the disbursements per day, cash disbursements per day, were the 1,200, and that's going to give us our delayed disbursements. The delayed disbursements, then I'm going to put an underline into the 1,200, home tab, font group, and underline. Let's multiply this out. This is going to be equal to the 0.6 times the 1,200 for the 720. Okay, and then we can think about the money that would be freed up. So the freed cash, so the cash has been freed. We freed the cash of the 3,780 plus the 720. And then if we multiply that times the rate, the interest rate, we're going to assume we can get a return of 9% on it. Let's percentify that cell by going to the home tab, numbers group, percentifying it. Let's underline it, home tab, font group, and underline it. That's going to give us the interest or return on the investment that we may be able to make with the freed up cash. That's going to be the 4,500 times the 9%, or the 405.